Hello traders, Rich here and welcome to a new video. As per your request, today I'm going to share 4 of the crypto instruments that I'm planning to add to my portfolio. As usual, if you like video analysis, smash the like button and subscribe for more. And you can even request any instrument or coin in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to add it in the next video. So let's get started. I'll try to make it as detailed and educational as possible, so we'll do the analysis from scratch. That's why you don't see any drawings, any levels. So we can see, obviously, on ADA, I've already bought this one, but I'm looking to add more longs. We can clearly see that we are overall bullish, right? When we are overall bullish, we'll be waiting for the corrective to be about to end to add more longs, right? But we can't really know where the corrective would end. It can last for long, or it can be very, very short. That's why we don't buy blindly. We always look for extra confirmation and triggers. So first of all, we start with drawing our support and resistance, round numbers, supply and demand zones, and so on. And we can clearly see that we've got a strong round number here, which is round number 1, obviously, right? Which is a very, very strong round number. And of course, we have the 0.5, which would be around here. We'll not draw it now as price is currently trading inside this range. And we also have the upper bound of the range, which would be around the 1.5, 1.6. And price currently broke this range. So I personally already bought around here, then added more longs for those who watched the previous videos. And we had this trend line here, 1, 2, 3, and price broke the last swing upwards, so we added more longs here. And for those who didn't add it to the portfolio, as it's a great project, now we can see that the buyers took control, took over, right? And we can clearly see that we are overall bullish from a long-term perspective and from a medium-term perspective as well, as price is currently trading inside what? Inside this channel. So the price now broke this range. We've got the resistance previously again and again, right? And obviously support. That's why we were looking to add more longs here, as you saw from H1. Now the price broke above this range upward, but we do have this what I call overbought trend line. So now the trading plan for ADA, for Cardano, for those who didn't buy yet, we've got 2 options. Now on the retest of this, it was acting as what? Previously resistance. So as price broke it upward, now it's acting as support. So on the retest, we'll be looking, you don't buy blindly, you look for buy setups, just like we did previously, you look for bullish reversal patterns. We can't really know now because the price didn't retest yet, but we'll take some examples. We still have 3 instruments that the trigger, that we are waiting for the trigger, right? And so for now, as mentioned before, if we have a massive big bullish candle closing above it from daily, because this day isn't closed yet, so this one can still close as a rejection with a big wick from the upper side, then this resistance wouldn't be confirmed to be broken, right? So now if this daily candle closed like this, a massive bullish candle, then we can say that now it's broken, acting as support, and we'll be looking for buy setups, just like what happened here, right? It was acting as resistance, price broke it up with a massive candle, then on the retest we're looking for buy setups, and starting from here it's acting as support. So let's see if the same will happen here, or the sellers will kick in now to close it as a big wick. In this case, we can expect a movement around here, then starting from here we'll be looking for buy setups. So that's it. Long story short, let's wait for this candle. If it's closed bullish, we'll be looking for buy starting from here. We'll be looking as price can still make a deeper correction, just like here, impulse, correction, and we are currently in the impulse phase. So don't ever buy in the impulse phase. So for example, many traders have bought here, maybe in the impulse, they suffered from this drawdown. Many traders bought here, maybe we have a drawdown, right? So now we are currently in the impulse phase. Let's wait for the retest and always look for buy setups. This is the first rejection, and this is the second rejection. We'll be looking for buy. If price kept moving downward, we wouldn't buy here because we didn't have a confirmation. Then we'll be looking for buy here. That's it for ADA. I'm not zooming into lower time frames, as we'll be waiting for now for the retest to add more longs. Next, we have HOT, or we have Holo. You've already seen my alerts here, 1, 2 for ETN, and for STORJ as well. You have my alerts, right? Because these ones are not like ADA, who already kept moving higher, and now we're waiting for a retest. So these setups are ready. That's why I decided to share it, because you asked me, what are you planning to hold next? So what we can see from HOT or Holo on daily time frame, we had a massive movement upward, right? And now we are currently in a corrective phase. When we are in a bullish market, we'll be looking for what? For the break to be about to end, to catch what? The next impulse movement, correct? So impulse, now we're on correction phase, we'll be looking for buy to add more longs, or to buy if you didn't buy yet. This one, to buy this one to catch the next impulse. And most probably, because we are in an uptrend, because we had this big impulse previously, we can see a bigger impulse which would go higher than the previous high. But anyway, let's take it step by step, right? While in a corrective phase, we're looking for buy setups. We don't look for buy setups blindly. We always look for extra confirmation. We look for areas or levels to start to look for buy setups. And the reason why we're looking for buy setups now is because we've got this demand area, right? We had a big or aggressive movement upward from here. And as you can see, price already rejected this demand area. So we'll be looking for buy setups around this area. Of course, if price kept moving lower and break below this demand area, then the next demand would be around here, which is also the 0.0005, right? So this and this, but I will not draw this one as the price is still sitting around this demand area. Now, when we know that we are around the rejection, we can zoom into a lower time frame and look for buy setup. We can see from a market structure perspective, we are currently in the corrective phase, as mentioned from daily. So we are currently in a bearish market, even from a short-term perspective. So impulse, correction, and we are currently in the impulse phase in this downtrend, right? So the sellers or the bears are still in control from a medium-term perspective or short-term perspective. That's why you don't want to buy a bearish market, right? For those who bought here, they are now suffering from the drawdown. That's why you always wait for the buyers to prove control, even though you may enter late for some traders, right? But you would enter with extra confirmation. Okay, so we have a demand. The structure is still bearish. We are waiting for a shift in momentum. And for now, from a structure perspective only, market structure 101, we're waiting for a break above this swing high to confirm that now we might have a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish, right? So that's what we are waiting for now, but we will not buy blindly just because of market structure. We always look for extra confirmation. We want more confluence or more confirmation. For those who already watched my previous idea, we have a head, right shoulder, left shoulder, sorry, and the right shoulder was around here. And we mentioned that we'll be waiting for the neckline to be broken upward. That's why you see the alert here, so that I would be notified that the price is now breaking the neckline, okay? But anyway, now of course I will adjust my alert. So the reason why I'm showing it to you, because the price didn't break above the neckline, which is covering the entire structure, so we still didn't buy, and the price kept moving lower, right? So head and shoulders pattern, even if you have a head and shoulder, it's not enough. And of course, for extra confirmation from the H4 time frame, the price didn't break below this last swing yet. So, and as you can see, the alert is above this area. So now when price break above this area, now we've got an early alert that yes, start looking, start to be prepared for the trigger. All right, and then we'll enter when the head and shoulders neckline would be broken upward, which would be, as mentioned above the 0.02. Okay, so let's mark the 0.02 for now, as it's a round number. And that's it, 0.02. And for now, as mentioned previously, we'll be waiting for this break upward. And if we zoom in, we can see that we now have a descending channel forming, right? So 1, 2, and we're waiting for a third swing to form around it. But anyway, that's it, and that's it. So now we've got like the right shoulder is forming like a bullish reversal pattern. But if you are conservative, If you are aggressive, you can enter a buy after the swing. So it's not formed yet. Let's wait for it to be complete, and then you can enter a buy. And we also, if you want, we have like a minor head and shoulders pattern. So head, left, and right shoulder, right? It's an inverse head and shoulders, of course. But for those who are conservative, can wait for a break above the neckline to jump in, because this one is still cheap anyway. So if you buy it now, you can hold it for like a couple of years. We have a great potential in terms of risk to reward. So it's nothing to wait for a couple more or enter a little bit later, but with extra confirmation, right? So always think in terms of risk to reward. So that's it for Holo. Long story short, aggressive traders can enter if this right shoulder is formed and then a break above the neckline, which would be almost around here. Or for extra confirmation, it's better to wait for a break above this macro head and shoulders pattern neckline. And for extra conservative traders, can wait for a break above the round number 0.02. So now it depends on your risk appetite. You know what to look for. Next, we have someone asked me about this one, which is ETN. Okay, so on ETN, as usual, we start from the daily time frame. We can know that we are overall bullish. We've got impulse. That's it. Correction, big impulse. So big impulse, which means big correction, right? We're currently in a correction phase. That's why, as usual, we'll be looking for it to be about to end to catch the next impulse. So we've got this demand, clearly aggressive, explosive movement upward. And if broken downward, where's the next demand area? Which would be here, or even here, and even here. Okay, but anyway, let's not draw it, as price is now currently sitting around this demand area. So we'll be looking for buy setups to catch the next impulse movement, which, as mentioned before, should break above the previous high. So high, impulse, higher high, very strong impulse, higher high, and now we want to catch the next impulse. Always wait for the correction. For example, for those who entered by here because they have the fear of missing out, FOMO, they are now suffering from this correction movement. No matter how strong an instrument is going up, sooner or later we will see a correction movement. But as mentioned, we can't really know how deep the correction would be, a small one or a big one, right? That's why we don't buy blindly. So next, now we know we are in the market, let's zoom into lower time frames. Of course, on H4, we can see from a market structure perspective, we are overall bearish, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And here, right, so lower highs, lower lows, we were purely bearish, lower, low, lower, and here as well. Then the price failed to make a low low and instead made a higher low, which gives us an early alert that the potential reversal might happen. Then what happened? And the price broke above the previous high. So here the price made, let me show you an example, a lower high. The price failed to break above it, so we are still bearish. A lower high here or here, failed to break above it, so we are still bearish again. But here, the price broke above it. So now we've got a shift in momentum, okay? And of course, the early alert was that the price failed to make a lower low like previously, instead made a higher low, then broke above the previous high. Then we have a potential reversal starting from here. And the price made a retest. So now we are still looking anyway for buy setups, but I'm just giving you an insight on H4 that we are currently around a resistance area. Sorry, around a demand area. So now if we zoom out, and anyway, from H4, we didn't draw our trend lines yet. We can clearly see that we've got what? We've got a trend line, 1, 2, and 3. That's it. And we can even extend it till around here, but it would be slightly broken. Let me see. No, it's fine. So anyway, here or from here, we can connect 3 swings. So 1, 2, 3. That's why you see my alert here. Why? Because I wanted to break above this high here, right? So I can even make it a little bit lower so that I get notified that it's going to break it, right? Then and only then I will look for ETN. For now, it's on my watch list. I'm not looking at it. I'm just waiting for the alert. Then I will decide when I see this one. And of course, every week or 2 weeks, I check my charts. I update my charts. Maybe I'm getting now a buy setup forming with a better entry, right? So if price goes down, then it would be cheaper, then I can add more coins into my portfolio for the same amount of money. Okay, I just noticed that the video is a little bit slow. I don't know why, maybe because of the connection. Anyway, I hope you can hear me well. So we are waiting for a momentum candle close just like this one, not that big, but a momentum candle close above this area to confirm that now the buyers are in full control. Okay, and we also have like a not so typical head and shoulders pattern. I don't like the shape of it. Anyway, it's just an add-on. The original trigger, if you want to call it, is this trend line. So last but not least, we have STORJ, and of course, as usual, daily time frame, overall bullish. We're looking for buy setups because we are in a corrective phase. So we've got what? A demand area here. Explosive movement upward. If broken downward, then the next demand would be where? Would be here. And yes, I don't see any demand areas. So that's it here. And now the price is around a demand area. So we've got a rally, base, and then rally again. And of course, the demand area is the entire base. It's the last bearish candle. But anyway, let's keep it smaller to keep the chart cleaner. Okay. So for now, STORJ is retesting this demand area. So we are looking for buy setups. And of course, price already rejected it previously, but I didn't buy yet because the conditions to buy are not met yet. Here we go, our view from an H4 perspective. We are now overall bearish. We are in a corrective phase after this big impulse from daily time frame. So lower impulse, correction, impulse, correction, and so on. So we are still overall bearish, lower highs and lower lows. So we are clearly, anyway, you can see that we are bearish from you. You don't need like to compare the highs and lows, right? It's clearly bearish. So of course, for the buyers to prove control, they have to break above this area. Okay. So now, and yes, now we can zoom into lower time frames and look for extra confirmation and trigger. Now we can draw, let me check. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Let me zoom in because the trend line has to be touching these ones, and 2, and then 3. Voila, we've got this trend line here, and that's why you see the alert around here. I want the price to break it upward, and then I get notified with a big candle. That's why it's a little bit higher than the last swing. And this I get notified around here, and it doesn't really matter. I don't have to enter it immediately because I'm going to hold it for a couple of years. But I'm not just going to trade on margin. I will buy it and I will hold. Okay. And we also have a head and shoulders pattern, but it's now a little bit old, right? As price went flat after it, so it's not a main conference or a main indication. The main ones are the demand and this trend line. As you can see, we are waiting for a break above it to buy. Meanwhile, until this happens, we would be overall bearish, and STORJ can still trade lower and lower and get cheaper and cheaper, which I personally like. In this case, I'll be looking for new buy setups around the demand. If the demand is broken downward, then we can expect a movement till where? Till the next demand area, which would be around here. So instead of buying it with around 2, we would be buying it with around 0.8. So we'll get to buy double. All right. Anyway, it depends on your risk appetite and on your investment and so on, but you already got the idea. Okay, that's it. As mentioned previously, if you like me to go over any coin or any instrument, feel free to request it in the comment section below. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.